This video was made possible by EA Game Changers. What is going on, Battlefielders? So I have put together a list of the most important changes coming to Battlefield 5. Now, there are a lot of other videos out there that touch on every change, and I basically created a simplified list of the most important things changing with the core experience for Battlefield so that you know exactly what is coming and what to kind of anticipate when these changes do come into effect. We know we're going to have gameplay and EA Play, and we're going to see some of these things firsthand, but for now, let's talk about the big changes coming right now. So let's discuss the big changes. So supports are going to be able to build offensive fortifications like mounted MGs, where the rest of the classes in the game can only do defensive things, re-stabilize the structures and build up walls, basically defensive measures. And they're also capable of building faster. So there's going to be a lot of utility and importance on the support roles for fortifying areas when you need it. Doing it more efficiently and faster is going to be huge to the overall gameplay experience. Revives now take seconds. No longer can you slide around putting needles in people and bringing them back to life. Hallelujah. That is gone. It's now going to take time and finesse. You're going to need to make sure you know how to do this, and people aren't going to be able to just revive out in the open any longer. What you can do is take advantage of a new mechanic, which is going to be grabbing bodies and pulling them aside. So if somebody dies in a hallway, you can grab them off, pull them off to a little room, and revive them there safely. But when your teammate jumps out of the trench, runs 10 meters out there and dies, you don't have the freedom and luxury of running out there, praying to God, stabbing him with a needle, and both of you returning back. No, no. Your only option is to run out there and grab his fat ass and pull him back to the trenches, and that's not going to happen. You're going to die. Or the other alternative is to try to actually activate the new revive animation and sit there vulnerable in the open without being able to fight back for 3 seconds, which basically means you die too. So the whole medic system, the whole revive system has been changed at its foundation, and this is going to be really, really different for the Battlefield experience. Another thing is health has sections now, and the region only goes up to those tiers, those little portions of health. And, of course, to heal, you now must manually do it. So you have to go up to a pack or crate and heal yourself by yourself. It's an action that you have to activate. You can't just be thrown it anymore. You have to work and aim for your materials now. There's also less ammo on spawn, supposedly only enough to get a couple kills worth. So if you want more ammo, you need to go out and pull it just like you do from the health packs. You need to find a crate or a pack, resupply, and that's it. You can also now scavenge from dead bodies. So if you've killed somebody or teammates are down, you can basically loot them for minimal amounts of ammo, health, so on and so forth, but it won't matter when it comes down to it. There's also no more HUD or map spotting, so there's going to be a completely new spotting system implemented in this game. It's going to be really interesting to see how this works. It's basically leaning away from a casual experience and becoming far more realistic with this one. We have each gun having its own unique recoil pattern, so the more you play with a gun, the more used to it you're going to be. No two guns are going to be the same. The more you play it, the better you're going to be with it, and that's really interesting, especially seeing as how they've improvised with this new system. You're going to need to be smart with how you play. People are going to stick to what they know and what they're comfortable with, and with combined arms being thrown in, there's going to be lots of ways to practice and master your weapons, so I'm really interested in seeing how in-depth this one goes. We know you can dive left, right, forward, and backwards. This new movement system they've added in the game is more of a, less of a dive and more of like a fall, I guess. So, I don't know, it's hard to explain because most people see the word dive and they think dolphin diving and just lunging across far distances. No, it's a bit more realistic. Basically, any direction you can fall. We also have a realistic explosion system. So, for example, if you just imagine a bomb going off in your living room, everything's going to be blown out, right? All the walls go out, all the furniture goes out, that ugly clock your mom has, all of that's going outside of the house. Now, if something explodes on the outside of a house, everything is shoved inwards. All the debris, bookcases, people, all coming inside from the outside. So, it's realistic in that terms, and also big explosions can knock you over. So if you've ever wanted to be a tree in your life, you could do that now. We also have a third-person squad spawning system, so it now gives you the freedom of looking into what your team is involved in. You can see the fight going on firsthand before you decide if you want to spawn or not, which I think is pretty cool. Knowing what you're getting into before you jump in there, I'm cool with that. Squads now earn points based on performance, so the better your team works together, the more points you basically build up, the stronger you can be in help in assisting your team. They have call-ins now that only the squad leader can use, so these V1 rockets, support sort of systems involved, tanks, and these are basically your power streaks, if you will. So the more potent you are as a squad, the better you work together, you're going to be rewarded for performing well together, and this is huge. And they're also confirmed no elite classes or behemoths, which is huge. No information on exactly what they're doing to some of the features like suppression. We know it's in the game. We don't know how it's going to work. We know that there's going to be ways to actually combat against it, so you can build certain ways to limit yourself from the effects of suppression. And no information on sweet spots yet, but hopefully by the time EA Play comes out, we'll know a little more. We also know that there's a wide variety in customization for classes. They have archetypes now and specializations on top. So imagine having like trees to customize your character. It's not as linear before. It's like just picking assault, so I have a couple explosives and that's it. You could build an assault character now that's basically anti-infantry or anti-tank or a hybrid between there. You're going to have so much more to customize on your character and build. You can take things that were just never done before in Battlefield and customize and optimize them for your playstyle. And that could vary per map and so on and so forth. And I'm really interested to see how you can work within these archetypes in this customization, because it's going to give you a lot more freedom and ways to actually build outside of the class itself. But that's all I got for you guys, so hopefully I've saved you some time. I know there's tons of other epic content creators out there making long lists of things, and I have a list for you. This is basically not my information. I pulled this from a website, which pulled it from a bunch of other YouTube videos, and this is an awesome list that's located down in the description below. Feel free to call some Havoc or read those, ask them questions. If you have any questions for me, toss them my way. But I'm really excited for seeing how this is going to change. Again, the revive system is going to be huge. The support is going to be huge. The necessary requirements and I guess team synergy is going to be huge. There's going to be so much pressure on squad play now. And I'm really excited to see where this goes. Now that everybody can revive, not just medics, everybody can repair and fortify. This is going to be really interesting to the foundation of Battlefield. It's not going to be as casual anymore. It's going to be far more competitive, far more tactical than it's ever been, and hopefully we really enjoy it, and it does still feel like Battlefield when it's all said and done. I've got another video coming up soon, so I recommend you guys to subscribe. I'll be talking about my overall feels on Battlefield and what I expect to happen when this thing drops. Thanks again for your time. Appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your evening. Take care.